Alright, Algebra 2 Honors Lesson 6-4. Here are the lesson's objectives. Alright, so let's talk about how we would factor a sum or difference of cubes. Okay? Now let's say we have something like this. 8x to the third minus, let's just say 1. Alright, now if you only have two terms and you have a minus sign here, alright, this might be a sum or difference of cubes. Okay, since we have a x to the third here, you want to check to see if it's a sum or difference of cubes. Now the way you do the check is there some term cubed that'll give you this? In this case, yes, 2x. Is there some term cubed that'll give you this? In this case, 1. Okay, so this is a difference of cubes because it's a minus sign. Alright, now the most important thing you need to remember is kind of the term SOAP, because that gets you the signs of your factors. Okay, so basically you're going to have two factors, a binomial and a trinomial. And the term SOAP stands for same, opposite, always positive. Meaning this sign here will always be the same as this. This sign here will be opposite of this. And this last sign here is always positive. Alright, so go ahead and set up your two factors. One will be a binomial, one will be a trinomial. Use SOAP to get your signs, and then basically just plug in, once you've found these values, just plug in the 2x and the 1, or whatever these values are, right here, and right here. Now, to get this term right here, you square this one. So that'll be 4x squared. To get this last term, you square this one. So 1 squared would be 1. To get the middle term, you multiply these two. So you end up with 2x. Alright? And don't worry about signs or anything when you're doing the multiplication, because you've already filled in the signs using SOAP. Okay? Let's try another example. Let's say we have 27 x to the third plus 8. So if you do the checks to see if this is sum or difference of cubes, in this case it would have to be a sum because this is a plus sign. So is there something to the third power, that'll give you this, that'll cube to give you this? 3x. Is there something cubed that'll give you this? Yep, 2. So let's set up our factors. One's a binomial, one's a trinomial. Use SOAP. Same, opposite, always positive. So the same as this. Opposite, then always positive. Alright, and then go ahead and take the 3x, plug it right here, take 2, plug it right there. So to get this term, we square this. This would be 9x squared. To get the last term, square this. That'll be 4. To get the middle, multiply these two, 6x. Okay, so this is a sum of cubes because it's a plus sign. Then our last example, that we did was a difference of cubes because it was a minus sign right here. Since this was a minus sign in the last example, this is a difference of cubes. Okay, so let's take a look at some examples. In your homework, you're going to be asked to find all complex roots. Okay, so you're going to be asked to solve this right here. So the first thing, let me get some space for myself. So we're going to need to solve this. So you're going to have to factor this first. Alright, the problem already equals 0. Right, this is just like solving like we did in chapter 5. The problem already equals 0. So then what we're going to do is we're going to factor this. So you notice here, this is a perfect cube. This is a perfect cube. Alright, so this is a sum of cubes. So let's set up our two factors. So SOAP, same, opposite, always positive. Then the 3x will go here. The 1 will go here. So to get this, you square this. 9x squared. To get the last term, square this, 1. To get the middle, multiply these two, 3x. Now since we are solving, we need to take these and set them equal to 0. So you take 3x plus 1, set it equal to 0. X is going to equal negative 1/3. Okay, so that's one solution. And then I'll tell you right now, you could try and use the x for this, but it's never going to work. You're going to have to use the quadratic formula to find the solutions for this. Okay, you could double check to see if the x will work, but it won't. So right here, since the x doesn't work, quadratic formula time. So x is going to equal negative 3 plus or minus the square root of negative 3 squared minus 4 times a times c is 9, all over 2 times a, which is 9. So we'll end up with positive 3 plus or minus. This will give us 9 minus 36. So we're going to end up with the square root of negative 27. So if you simplify this, now since this is negative, we're going to have an I involved. So if you simplify this, basically this is 9 times 3. So we're going to end up with 3I radical 3 over 2 times 9, which is 18. And then make sure you don't stop here, because what you could do is factor out a 3. Right? You end up with 1 plus or minus I radical 3 over 18. And then this 3 simplifies with the bottom right here. So your other solutions, alright, x is going to equal 1 plus or minus I radical 3 over 6. Okay? So that's how you solve, right, when you're asked to solve on your homework.